Boys, girls, it's once more time for the Ultimate Guard Cup, and we have another top 16 match for you today, and we have a real thriller. And we today means my co-commentator Lars Knapp once again.
Hi.
Hey Lars,
Yeah,
thanks for
nice
joining
to
me
be here
again.
again.
Yeah, thanks a lot for joining. Obviously because Leonard is team member of our one team United Gosus. He is not going to commentate on that match we have today because that would look suspicious, even though he probably wouldn't do anything about it, but he didn't have any access to the deck lists or anything, so we just kept it clean, nobody can say anything, and Lars is here with me again. And you were with me for the first match of the Ultimate Gosus.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. A few weeks ago, it was
Right.
kind of interesting. Yeah, and UG of course won.
Yeah, obviously, otherwise they wouldn't be here. But this
Yeah.
time they have like a very, very strong opponent lined up because they have Team G.Y.M on the other side. A team that is mostly from Switzerland, but also
Yeah, I
has
think
some
so.
German players completing the roster. And they have quite a few tops, like YCS tops and stuff. And they're a very well-known team. And whenever you go to YCS, you will recognize them for their gray shirts with the muscles on them. And obviously,
Yeah.
Team G.Y.M, they're all pretty ripped and they're going strong. I think Team G.Y.M does not even like. It's a short term for something completely else, like gaming Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic or something like that. I'm not 100%
Oh,
sure.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, but it's not really the G.Y.M thing. But I mean, their logo and everything says it that
Yeah,
it's
sure.
like still a thing between them, and I think they're happy that everybody sees them as a strong and ripped team. I mean, it's a good thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say we should already go over to the playing field. I will just
Yeah.
switch us in, and we're already there. And we will be featuring Table 1, actually. And Table 1 is the match between Kevin Züger and Din Kang Pham. So two
Yeah.
real big names. Like Din Kang Pham just made top 16 at the Dutch Nationals this weekend. And he's
Yeah,
pretty well
think
known.
he lost in the top 16 against either Mindburn or True Draco. I'm not sure. I think it was a one of these decks you don't want to play against.
Yeah, obviously. But we can already spoiler that Ding won't have to face that deck again today because
Yeah.
his opponent Kevin Züger with the nice dueling book name Batista92 is not playing that deck, and he might have to see one copy of Mystic Mine because actually he's playing one in the side deck pretty funnily, but for now he's just playing Striker. But starting things off, Din Kang Pham and his Salamangreat deck, and he has been pretty honest to his Salamangreat deck, I would say. Like he didn't cheat on it for the last few weeks. He's just playing it and playing it and playing it, and he's still
Yeah.
the opinion that that it's going to be the best deck for now, and that he's just winning with it. And he
Yeah,
starts
I
off by
think
activating
at
Circle.
the Dutch Nationals he managed to be second after Swiss, which
Oh,
is quite nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
But heading into the game, we can already see he's starting with one of the small combos
Yeah.
where you just can go for a Gazelle and start with Mirage Stalio. But yeah, it's quite consistent, I think. And his opponent doesn't even throw a hand trap. So yeah, looks good for Kang at the moment.
Yeah, but a common thing under Sky Striker players that I've heard them saying like, oh, he has, that's nice. He has Phantasme, but
It's spicy Phantasme.
absolutely nice right there.
Yeah.
He's is he kidding? Like he special summons it into the zone that the Sunlight Wolf is pointing to, but I mean, he doesn't seem to bother. And yeah, what I wanted to say is Sky Striker players don't really want to draw into hand traps versus Salamangreat. They rather would like to draw 6 Sky Striker cards and just grind through the board. That's just usually better for them because hand traps aren't doing that much versus Salamangreat, to be fair, and it's just better to have all the cards you need to grind through, have like MST to bait out the negate and so on. So seems pretty good. But that Phantasme really was impressive.
Let me interrupt you. I think we both thought his opponent is playing Sky Striker, but in the Sky Striker list we got, there's no Phantasme.
Ooh.
So I think it's either Thunder Dragon or Salamangreat Great. So let's see.
That is interesting because like G.Y.M reported their list to us in like a kind of random way because they were just they just made photos of or like pictures from their desktop PCs with their handy cameras, with their mobile phone cameras, and so it was really confusing to get everything together. And we figured that Kevin was the Sky Striker list, but seems like it isn't. But
yeah, it seems like Thunder
nice
Dragon.
Also, Thunder Dragon is pretty cool too. I like seeing that matchup as well.
Yeah, very interesting. The only spells he played were Allure of Darkness, so he wasn't afraid of of Mystic Mine, obviously.
Yeah, definitely not. Oh, there's called immediately taking out the Thunder Dragon Roar from the graveyard. I heard people saying that a lot. Like when you just do called on that, your opponent is pretty much done for the turn. He cannot do a whole lot anymore. But let's see how Kevin can recover from that. I actually like it even more that we're going to see Thunder Dragon Danger versus Salamangreat.
Yeah, me too. I prefer Thunder Dragon Danger.
Yeah, it's just it's not a super hard grindy matchup. It's just combo versus control, and so we can see what's better right now. How Thunder Dragon Danger, which is a little bit unpopular at the moment. I think like a lot of people are switching away from that deck. A lot of people are sticking to Salamangreat, or they are even sticking to Sky Striker. Like when the ban list dropped, everybody was like, okay, Sky Striker probably isn't that good anymore. But people are sticking to the deck and they are topping with it. Sky Striker
it's
really
still very good.
Very viable choice, definitely. So
yeah, well, some people are also saying Orcus is one of the best decks, but sometimes when you play Orcus and you get one hand trap, that's it for the turn. And that's my problem with the deck, to be honest.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's not really what you want to do. It's just
so I think at the moment, the most consistent decks are one of the best decks, like you see Salamangreat and Sky Striker, where one hand trap doesn't mean your whole turn is done.
Yeah, like both decks are pretty much, they're not immune to hand traps, but it is pretty good to play through hand traps with both decks. Oh, there comes the Phoenix, being summoned to the zone the Sunlight Wolf is pointing to. Once more. And
yeah, well, he's calling.
Yeah, he is calling, but look at Kang looking into his graveyard, checking whether he can take something back, and he is doing that, yeah. He's taking back the Jaguar, and I think that is kind of a sign that Kevin will probably try to OTK right there, because he doesn't really care about Din Confound taking back his resources, so he just is going for everything.
Yeah.
And he still has Phantasme on board, so if his opponent wants to target something, Phantasme will be there.
Yeah, that's right.
And we don't know that the last set card is the negate, right? He didn't search it, so it could be everything.
Yeah, he sent Spinny to the grave with the Gazelle, if I'm not mistaken.
I would just check the graveyard. Yeah, it must have been Spinny. Yeah, you're right. Oh, but wait. It should be Circle, maybe. Because Circle isn't in grave anymore. And so he probably added back Circle with the Sunlight Wolf. Right. And so the last set card is the Circle. So I guess Kevin was kind of happy to hit this Cosmic Cyclone. Because he now knows that the last back row is Circle. And he can pretty safely play through Circle. Because Circle isn't hindering him a whole lot. And now comes Levianeer. The big boy. And that could be enough already.
Yeah, and we haven't seen any hand traps until now.
Yeah, you're right. Of course, Salamangreat still... Oh, and it's another
second
Cosmic Cyclone. He kept
Well, it sucks to draw 2 cyclones against this
versus
deck,
combo.
right?
Yeah, you're right.
That's what Leonard said like 2 minutes ago. His boys from UG really expected some other matchups. Oh wow, okay. That's
That is overkill, Papa. What's going
yeah.
on?
That's it.
Wow. So, really unfortunate opening hand for Kang,
Yeah.
it seems like. He cannot really do a whole lot against all the big bodies from the Thunder Dragon Danger deck that Kevin is putting on board there. And we see quite a few people rooting for their team in the chat. We see Luke Randy repeating himself, go Jim. I think he's a team member of Team Jim and he's always rooting for them. And I saw him being in the chat when we interviewed Zoe Weber on our podcast. And he's a known face to our streams. But we also have... there we see McNary rooting for Trent, Team Trent.
Yeah, Rip Team Trent.
Rip Team Trent, yeah. Oh, now people are going off even more. More Jim love. So guys in chat, just tell us who you're rooting for. Is it United Gosus or is it Jim? Seems like the audience is kind of split so far. I saw some Go Gosus as well. And obviously, Leonard Koenig is spamming in the chat too, so I would be expecting him to spam something like Gosus, Gosus, Gosus into the chat in a few seconds. Wouldn't be too surprised.
Yeah, well, that's just Leonard.
It is. There comes Unicorn. So, that looks pretty decent.
Yeah.
Ooh, what is he ditching there?
There's Brotor.
Brotor.
Yeah, many people in my Yu-Gi-Oh groups requested this card recently. Seems like a very nice card for the upcoming nationals.
Let's just quickly read through it. If a monster you control is destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect, you can special summon this card from the graveyard. If it was there when the monster was destroyed. Or hand, even if not, but banish it when it leaves the field. Ah yeah, that's that stupid effect. There are multiple of these being released, and they're just saying that it has to be in the graveyard, but in the hand, even if it wasn't in the hand when the effect was activated or when the monster was destroyed, it's just super confusing, like the wording of it.
Yeah,
but
it
I
is.
mean, in the end, you can special summon him from the graveyard, and it's just an additional extender. That's what it comes down to, I guess. So... let's see. Saryuya. I mean, I would say he had already enough damage on board, and he Link climbed into not enough damage on board anymore.
I wouldn't say so, since Levianir can't attack.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Did he activate his effect to pop?
Yeah, I think he popped the... he tried to pop the
other
Sunlight Wolf. Or the Sunlight Wolf. And he protected with Bailings, and then he shuffled away with the Unicorn. But I mean, that surely is game. Like, if he does not have Valor or something like that now, that is absolutely game. Even if he has Valor, I'm not too sure whether that's not game still.
Yeah, well, Phantasma can still protect.
Yeah, but not from Valor. Like, if he has Impermanence, that's pretty unfortunate for him. But otherwise, let's see. I'm surprised that Pham hasn't scooped yet, because it seems like a pretty bad situation for him to be in, and he must have some hope. So maybe he has a hand trap he can actually throw in there.
Well, I think Kang is one of those players who think just let your opponent play his turn, and maybe he will do a mistake, and then he can win.
Yeah, I mean, potentially.
And since we don't have timeout, right? So
we don't
I think
have. Yeah, I was about to say that as well. We don't have timeout in the Ultimate God Cup, so there's no need to rush for him. So he can just safely see the deck of his opponent. I mean, we saw the Omni Dragon Brotor already, so maybe there's some more spicy tags in there. And there is his scoop.
So we're going
battle phase, and we're good. We're good right there. So, That is the 1-0 for Team G.Y.M. Quick 1-0. And guys, obviously, if you have results from the other games, please spam it into the chat so we can share it with everybody. And then we will keep you updated. But that was a really, really quick OTK from Kevin Züger.
Yeah, these unfortunate Cyclones, I'm pretty sure he's citing them out right now.
yeah, I would agree on that too, for sure. So there's kind of a discussion going on in chat. Shots being fired, like whether United Gosus is that good of a team. But I would just leave that discussion to you guys in the chat. But feel free to keep discussing.
Yeah, one in the chat says Marvin won game 1. According to Marvin. So Salomon Great, 1 win. So game 1 won for Team G.Y.M on 2 sides. Looks really good.
Now it says G.Y.M is up 1-0 in all 3 games. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Wow, chat is saying that, yeah. Team G.Y.M is up 1-0 in every single game. And we can already tell you that, I mean, we predicted that Kevin is playing Sky Striker, but that means that one of his teammates, either Marvin or Philip, is playing Sky Striker instead. And the other deck that is there is a Salad. So we have a lineup of Salad, Sky Striker, and Dangerous Thunder Dragons for Team G.Y.M. And on the other hand, which is pretty interesting, we have 3 Salomon Great decks for the United Gosus team. They decided that the deck is just very great. Oh, do we see an Ash Blossom right there? No, he's dodging it. Silent Mining, going through, being able to search Gazelle, and he also discarded the Spinny, so he has a pretty good setup right there.
And very interesting regarding the deck lists. UG deck lists kind of look similar, but all 3 are playing Cyclones, so regarding the Mystic Mine matchup.
Yeah.
But one player, I think it is Julio, he isn't playing Silent Mining and plays with the Psychics and with Pot of Desires.
All right. So we got information in the chat that actually Philip is this Sky Striker player and Marvin Camera is playing Salad.
Yeah.
And we actually see quite some chains going on there on this side of Dinkan Farm. He's using the effect of Gazelle because the Spinny was ditched and he's immediately chaining the Circle to that as well. And he's going off quite well right here.
Yeah, it looks like a better start than game 1.
Absolutely.
And Jaguar, very strong.
Yeah, so you can link away the Jaguar then. That's a pretty good opening. I think he can go full combo right there. And he already has Raw and Grave too, so it will be a lot harder for Kevin to actually go through that board, I would assume. But I mean, if he has Phantasme again, that would already be huge. Wow. Just dropping Phantasme to draw 3 once more. I guess Kang wouldn't like that, for sure. I couldn't imagine it.
Well, let's see what his other cards are. Hopefully Ash against Phantasme or Called by the Grave. Or what else could he side? Let's see.
Yeah, just check his list out.
Maybe Artifact Lancea. I think he doesn't side Twin Twisters and Heavy Storm Duster.
Unlikely? Oh man, these guys are so prepared for the Mystic Mind matchup, right? It's insane. Yeah. They just saw that Team G.Y.M would be sneaky and would go up with all the Mystic Mind decks.
Maybe that's personal hate from the Dutch nationals, where he maybe had to face some Mystic Mind matchups, and he said, "Okay, that's it. I hate this deck, and I have to play so many cards against it."
Yeah, like Marvin Weber, a player from Berlin and also a team member of Team G.Y.M. Like whenever he's explaining his decks and giving deck features, he's like, I'm playing Twin Twisters and Typhoons in the sideboard. He's like always doing that because I fucking don't want to lose to Floodgates anymore. I'm never ever going to lose to Floodgates again. So maybe that's the philosophy now regarding Mystic Mine as well. I really like that. Even though there were formats where there even weren't that many Floodgates, and you wouldn't have to play that many back row hate, but he still was like, I don't want to lose to Floodgates. That's just...
Yeah, that's personal hate.
That's definitely personal hate, yeah. But it paid out for him as well. I think he was one of the Team G.Y.M members that topped YCS Düsseldorf, so worked out for him. And I think actually Philipp Weidinger, the player at table 3, facing Kian Shabazi, he topped YCS Düsseldorf 2, I'm pretty sure. And Marvin Kamara, the player at table 2, I am pretty sure he also topped like at least one YCS so far. Like his name is known, and I think he's playing for a pretty long time. I remember checking out written coverages on the Konami pages, and I think his name comes to my mind like a pretty long time ago already. He has been around for a while.
Yeah, these guys have so many tops, I can't even remember.
Dweller. Yeah, of course. Like, you have to go Dweller against that deck, and like against so many decks at the moment. Just Dweller is your blind choice. When you don't know what you're facing, you will just always go Dweller turn 1 when you have like the setup to Summoner rank 4 exceed, and right now he has that.
I think that's one of the problems. You had Joshua 2 days ago at your podcast. And I think he said Orcus isn't one of the best choices this format, he thinks, because like all of the Settlement Grade players are going Abyss Dweller first blind when they're going first. And yeah, he hates that. And yeah, me too. I think when your opponent doesn't even know what you're playing and he still gets out the best card against you, there's not much you can do.
Absolutely. Going second Orcus is just like in general, Orcus isn't bad going second because obviously it has a lot of extenders and it could grind through a lot of fields. But if that Abyss Dweller is already there, like all of your possibilities are already gone. And I really like what you said, like when that one card is just summoned blind and your deck really relies on it not being on the field and being able to use grave effects, then it's probably not that good of a choice to play the deck in the first place. That's really
but Kang did a nice move here when ditching the material for Abyss Dweller. He searched the Gazelle. He had the Gazelle before and could special summon it because he ditched the material, which was a Settlement Grade. So he could get the Gazelle effect in his opponent's turn. Very nice.
Yeah.
So it's a hard time for Kevin to play around this.
Absolutely. So Grummer in the chat actually helps us out with some inside informations. Marvin Kamara made top 8 at YCS Bochum 2016 and in London 2017. So not even that long ago, he had some success. Ooh, look at that, Red Reboot. And the Bigfoot is coming down.
Yeah.
So, I'm curious to see how far he can go right there. He will be very happy that he didn't hit the Bigfoot, because that Bigfoot would have been pretty dead.
Yeah, like all dangers are right now when they're hit.
Of course. Maybe that's the reason why he banished the Jackalope with the Allure.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't really get maximum use out of it.
Bigfoot is at least a beat stick.
Yeah, right. So, Nessie now. Praying that Kang isn't a good sniper, and he hits Twin Twister. Wow.
There's so much back row removal he discards.
Yeah. And I mean, like, Twin Twister kind of mediocre versus the Salomon Great deck. Like, Sky Striker players are siding out Twin Twisters just to get in MSTs, because MST is like basically doing the same thing, baiting out the negate, and you don't have to discard a card for it. So it obviously makes sense. And like, it is kind of hard with Twin Twisters that you have to put that one card into the graveyard, and it can really hurt for sure.
Well, it makes sense in danger decks, since you get... Do you get the discard? Yes, right? The grave effect.
Okay, so Jackalope is being summoned as well. He didn't hit a single danger so far. And wow, Luke Randy and Grummer, like the Team G.Y.M fanboys in our chat, and I'm like probably like teammates of Team G.Y.M. They actually are writing us that they are up 1-0 in the whole match now because Marvin Kamara quickly managed to win his match 2-0. So Team G.Y.M
very sweet.
being pretty close to actually make it happen.
Yeah, it was a Salomon Grade mirror, right? So, yeah, Salomon Grade 1.
Surprise. Oh, and he has called again on the Dragon Roll.
Oh.
Once again, he wants to prevent Kevin from getting into his Thunder place. And like, the amount of Thunder monsters in the Thunder Dragon Danger monsters went from quite a few to a very low number like nowadays. You only play like 1 to 2 Roars and 1 to 2 Darks, and like, that's it basically. And because you don't want to draw the Thunder monsters, they're basically bricks in your hand, and you really aren't happy to draw them. I saw a lot of people saying that in their deck profiles, that these Thunder monsters are actually the worst monsters in your Thunder deck. So iGolden96 in the chat is asking what the third player for UG is. It is, as you are writing, Kang Kian, and the third player is Julio Valls from Spain. And actually Julio, who just lost to Marvin, made top 16 at the Spanish Nationals this weekend. So also a very good player. Like, was Kian in the Netherlands? He wasn't, right?
I don't think so.
So
he wasn't.
Julio and Kang played their nationals already, but Kian still has his chance. He's probably playing.
Yeah, I think he's going for the German nationals.
Yeah, probably
next month. Yeah.
And so somehow Kevin once again was able to summon 4 monsters, but the fact alone that his opponent this time has 3 monsters on board and that he has to get through 3 monsters makes it a whole lot harder for him.
Yeah.
So.
And Kang still has the counter trap, right? He still has Raw.
Yeah, definitely. So he can just use it on Saruya, or I mean, do you even go into Saruya right there? You're probably going into Phoenix first. I mean, you have to kind of bait out the negate, hopefully. But let's see whether he can do it. He is once more. Ooh.
Security Dragon.
Security Dragon, yeah.
Oh, very nice. He can return Sunlight Wolf to the hand, and then his opponent can't activate Raw. So afterwards, after he returned it to the end.
Yeah, so you basically have to use Raw on that. Yeah, he baits out baits out the negate without even discarding a card for Phoenix. Like, you saved 1 card on hand there, basically. Otherwise, you would have to go Phoenix. So, but he now only has 2 monsters left, and is he now going into Phoenix? It looks like it. Oh no, he's going into Beat Cup of the Underworld. Normally, I would say that's just a card you're playing because you don't want to lose to Mystic Mindburn, because it can tribute itself, which is pretty nice versus Mystic Mind decks. You can just get rid of your monster, but that does not seem to be the plan right now.
Let's see. Well, it points towards the bottom zones, so you could do a Guard Dragon combo, but does he have? He does have the other dragon. Wow,
that could be huge.
That's insane.
I would be really impressed if Kevin manages to play through that board and is able to win right here. Oh, but there's Ash, and that must be it. Like, it is over right there. I cannot imagine Kevin having any way to win it right now.
I think so too.
And also the sad thing is that Kevin now wasn't able to search with his dragons, with Collapse Serpent and so on.
Yeah.
Because obviously Dweller is still active, so he could summon them and he could get out his Guard Dragons, but he still wasn't able to then go off a whole lot more. And now comes Saruya, I guess?
Yeah, but he can't draw.
Why? Why not?
Because he only used 3 materials.
Oh yeah, obviously. Yeah, you're right. Okay, maybe he realized that as well, right at that moment. The players are connected through Discord, and they are talking to each other in case you don't know yet. And maybe Kang then just says, yeah, you cannot draw. And then Philip is like, no, Kevin is like, yeah, right. So, Damned CR in the chat is asking, what's the score? The overall score is that Team Jim already won the Table 2 match between Marvin Camara and Julio Valls. So they're up 1-0 in total. And they're also leading 1-0 at table number 3 in form of Philip Weidinger versus Kian Shabazi. And right here we just got the equalizer. And it is 1-1 at table 1 between Dinkang Pham and Kevin Suger. So still some way to go for Team Jim.
Hopefully an interesting game 3.
Yeah, maybe full combo. Interesting full combo. Like, how does that sound to you?
Yeah, would be very nice to play around this.
Yeah. Like, I think Kang right now is praying for Lancea. Like, Lancea is so powerful versus that deck.
Or at least any hand trap.
Yeah,
but I think he plays enough.
Some interruption. Yeah, definitely. I mean, he plays the Solomon Great deck, and that is able to fit in so many hand traps into his main deck. So, let's see. Batista 92. That, like, isn't only revealing that he's, like, some kind of a wrestling fan, that also reveals that he's born in 92. Like, that is pretty nice. Meaning that he's actually 27 years old. So, Jackalope going off. Discarding the Levianeer and drawing 1 card.
And there's Lancea.
Is it? Oh, Kang must be so happy. Like,
yeah,
that Lancea is just huge. There comes Nessie.
That's so nice. By the way, nice story about Kang. He visited Leo and me in Paderborn.
Yeah.
And got introduced to 2 friends of us. And they must have been confused by his name, so they started naming him Chan the whole time. and it didn't even change until now. He's still Chan to them.
Like the Turkish name, like C-H-C-A-N, right? Or
yeah, kind of like that.
Like Emre Can, like that, right?
It's kind of racist, but it's okay.
It is kind of, yeah, for sure. But I mean, he will be okay with it because he just drew into Lancea and is probably in a pretty good position right here. And Luke Randy in the chat is actually saying that is a lie. And he just turned 21 this year, Kevin Suger. I don't know whether that's true. I mean, why would
it's just to confuse his opponents.
Yeah, to scare his opponents. Like when you're playing on Dueling Book and you don't know your opponent, but you see, oh, he's born in 92, so he has a lot of experience in the game. So he must be pretty good.
Nice strategy there.
Yeah, and
like Jackie Chan.
Yeah, Leonard is correcting us. Like it's not like Emre Chan, it's more like Jackie Chan. Also cool. That's even more racist, by the way, but it is probably even more true as well.
Oh, he passes his turn on Messi and Jackalope.
So he has 2,800 and 2,000 defense points.
Starts with Circle. That's so strong.
Yep, that is a very good place to be in right now. Must be good to be Kang right now.
Yeah.
So what
Lancea is so strong.
Yeah, Lancea is just insanely strong versus that deck. Lancea
it's also insanely strong against Orcus, right?
Yeah, right. It's just such a good hand trap at the moment. It is really, really bad versus Sky Striker, obviously, and also versus Salamangreat. But versus the other 2 decks, it's just amazing.
Yeah, it knocks out these combo decks.
Yep.
Very
definitely.
Nice. Maybe also interesting for...
See that in the chat? Jonas Koscholt writing Jackalope in defense position.
Yeah. I remember, Jonas. I remember.
Unbreakable board. Nice that he's still joking on himself on that. I really like that. That's really, really nice and likable. So he's
Yeah, I
going with
remember
Stelio.
watching the rewind of this game, and I already read, yeah, Jonas lost because he didn't attack.
Yeah.
And then I saw the video and I was so sad for Jonas. I saw his face and I wanted to pet him and hug him. I was like,
Yeah.
no, Jonas, no.
Don't
But
do
but
it. Don't do it.
yeah, but at this point in a tournament, you are so stressed and there's so much pressure on you. You kind of can't think rational sometimes.
Obviously. Like for all the players that were like making jokes about it and when like hating on Jonas how he could do so, they never were in a situation like that. I never was in a situation like that, of course, as
Yeah,
well. And but I mean, I cannot even imagine the pressure being in the finals and then it going to timeout. Like, I mean, you're
mm,
already nervous when you go to timeout in a normal tournament. Like, you're like, okay, I now have to somehow rush a little and I have to do the best out of it. And like, I don't have time anymore. It comes down to these decisions right now. And then on top of that, you're sitting in the finals of the biggest European YCS
yeah.
ever. Like, come on, mistakes.
But Jonas did what he could do best, and that's providing meme material.
That is true. That is true. Yeah,
So
that
here
is
we see again a
100% true.
Phantasme. Maybe it can help him to get back into the game.
It's at least a
But
start for him, for sure. Yeah,
uh,
he will like the Phantasme right there.
but Kang can go into Dweller again if he wants to.
Yeah,
He can go even further.
absolutely. The situation for Kevin really isn't good. He like
Mm.
rushed over Kang so hardcore in game one, but right now it really looks like Dinkampam is going to level the score for United Gosus and is trying to prevent the loss. It's like
Mm.
all the big teams, and I would counter United Gosus to the big teams because like United
Definitely.
Gosus has so many major wins.
Yeah, and they have Leonard König.
And they have
It's
Leonard König
insane.
as well. Like the newest addition, like one of the newest additions to their team is just they're probably best addition in a long time.
Well, he isn't worth that much anymore, I think, since he lost the title of the Dutch national champion
Yeah,
recently.
you could consider kicking him now, right? Because he does not even have a title to his name anymore. So what does he have? Like, is there anything? But yeah, I mean they have a lot of wins and always a lot of tops. So you really have to say that they are one of the top teams. And it seems to be a thing with the top teams that they have to be down at some point to overcome their opponents. They have to be challenged. Like when we saw E-Man Games in their top 16 match, they really were down 1-0 at all three tables as well. And Nico Schlierkamp lost pretty quickly 2-0 his match. But then Jonas Koschel and Joshua Schmidt were able to turn things around, overcome the 1-0 deficit, and both actually win their matches 2-1 to secure that top 8 spot for E-Man Games.
Yeah, but that's also a topic Joshua mentioned 2 days ago. When you asked him about what differs in his personality and play style from other
Yeah.
players, and he was like experience, and he doesn't get nervous too fast.
Yeah.
And I remember when I lose game one in some matches, I'm always like, yeah, okay, that's it. This round is lost. But
Absolutely.
it's very good to just stay focused and think, yeah, you can win the other two games because that's definitely possible.
100%. 100%. And I know that feeling you're talking about. Like when you lose game one and you're playing versus a very good player, you're like, how should I overcome that? Like he's very good and he's going to start in game
Yeah.
three. So, I mean, I would have to win game two now, which would already be a pretty big challenge. And then I would
Yeah.
also have to win game three. Seems unreasonable. And I mean, that's just a bad thing to think like that. But I know that it happens, and it happened to me as well before. And it's just a mindset thing. You have to have a very, very good mindset to actually perform very well over the course of a big event like a YCS. You have to grind through
That's
the whole
right.
day, and you have to be focused and mentally prepared for the challenge. And not everybody can do that. But I mean, Joshua Schmidt obviously showed us quite some times that he is able to do that. And yeah, he I have to say I really enjoyed the talk with Joshua on Tuesday, and the
Yeah,
people
it
in
was
chat.
very interesting.
Yeah,
Can
they
you
also enjoyed it.
rehear it or rewatch it?
Absolutely, you can check it out on YouTube.
Yeah,
Everybody
you
should
should definitely
definitely
do that, guys.
Yeah, for sure. Like, you can rewatch all the episodes of the podcast on YouTube, and we had quite some famous and well-known guests there already. We had Farfar as well. We had Jay Quincy. We had Joshua Schmidt. We had Jonas Koschel. We had Lukas Windel and Zoe Weber as well, and a lot of inside talk and a lot of insight on their way of thinking about the game. And I think that was a pretty that it is a pretty cool series, and you should definitely check it out and maybe rewatch all of them. Or just, it is a podcast, so there's no picture to it, so just turn it on when you're doing, like, I don't know what, when you're going for sports or when you're just playing on Dueling Book, and listen to it on the side. I think it's a pretty chill thing to do. And
So,
yeah,
I think
Pill
so.
T,
They are coming back.
they are still
Yeah, they
playing,
are still
as you
playing.
can see. They are definitely still playing. And yeah, this is game 3, and just our judge just wrote me that at table 3 they are still in game 2. It is still 1-0 for Philip Weidinger at table 3. So they are
Yeah, that's when you
battling
play
quite
against
hard.
Striker, it can take some time.
Surely.
We all know that.
Absolutely.
Shout outs to Sky Striker Kaina. I love that card.
Why do you?
Well, I've had a few games where my Sky Striker players were like sitting there shuffling their cards, looking at the time. Okay, 5 minutes until timeout. Maybe I have to check the grave again. Yeah, and then okay, 10 seconds to go. Let's link summon and activate some spell cards. Your turn. Okay, and that's it.
Of course. The never-ending story.
Yeah, we've had quite a few hate against Sky Striker when we featured a Sky Striker match last Sunday.
Yeah.
And so many people said, yeah, just winning in timeout and so on. And that's, it's a point. But I think Sky Striker is still one of the most skillful decks at the moment. Because you have
more
to...
skillful. Yeah, definitely. With the hit of Kagari, it is right now maybe the most skillful deck in the format. Like, it was skillful before, but now you really have to plan every single move properly.
Yeah, and you have to grind a lot, watch your resources.
Absolutely.
It's very difficult at sometimes. And just consider you have to do that the whole day for like 8 rounds.
Yeah.
And
that's
my brain would hurt. I would just stick to Draco and flip floodgates.
Of course. Like, a lot of people are choosing that route right now. That's why Draco is becoming so popular again. It just has to be the masses. Like, it cannot be that the deck is so good, because it is not. But it has some success at the moment.
I think when you see, there's so many true Draco players at the moment, so some of them have to top. Because in some matches, when you play Draco, your opponent doesn't see any Twin Twister or Red Reboot or whatever cards he is playing. So you just win by flipping your floodgates. And some of the true Draco players get Twin Twisted. And they are not in the tops.
It's over. Game over. It's so easy versus true Draco.
Oh, that Veiler on Phoenix hurts. You don't get the draw. And you don't get the destroy.
And you discarded Twin Twister for it, right? Wow. So that is huge. Only 2 cards in hand left for Kevin. And
still no grave.
Quickly check the grave from Dinkham Pham. And he has Spinny in grave lined up again for next turn. So looks like a good situation once more. Dinkham Pham. Pretty likely to win. Oh, Dark Grapher. That's a card you didn't see for a while in Dangerous Thunder Dragon decks. Like, I'm not too sure whether you saw that card at all in Dangerous Thunder Dragon decks. I haven't seen that for a while in deck profiles, I have to say. But I mean, it ditches the Dark Monster, so I mean, it is still the same Dark Grapher that it was in Teledat times. So, I mean, and it has 1,700 attack points, which seems to be what what he wanted to have right there.
It can get over Drella.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, Sunlight Wolf
Is
will
going
get
to be
protected.
Like, no, it does not even get destroyed. Oh, okay, yeah. The Phoenix is Veilered, so it could be destroyed by battle.
Yeah, it could have been, but Bailings is a thing.
It is. So Sunlight Wolf's still on board, and I mean that Greffer, is he just going to link it away now and go into Unicorn and just use his last card in hand to ditch the Sunlight? No, I cannot imagine that. Like, the place that Kevin right now is in is just awful. He must feel bad.
It's not...
Like, really, really bad. That's just...
Yeah, I mean, the one card in Kang's hand is Gazelle, right?
Yeah, it is.
It must be Gazelle, so... Yeah, can't say much about it. It's just Gazelle.
Gazelle can do quite some stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
So, what are they debating on? I just saw Kevin pointing at the back row. Maybe he wanted to clarify where the
Rage is.
Yeah, where the... Oh, was it Rage? Yeah, right, you're right.
It was Rage, yes.
Rage, yeah.
In the draw phase, he already popped 2 cards and set it back with Falco.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah, it's the left one.
Let's see. Is he going to do anything now? He takes quite a bit of thought on that, and then he decides to pass it over.
Right.
Yeah, he was maybe thinking, am I dying next turn? Can I afford to just pass on that board? And I mean, you don't really have a choice. You could link into Unicorn, cool, but that doesn't really do anything for you.
But that's this situation again where you're in a very bad spot and you know you're losing, and you don't want to realize you're losing. You don't want it to be real, and you think, are there any ways I can still manage to win this? But yeah, Drella was active. He had Kang had Gazelle in hand,
and he goes Fusion of Fire as well now. So looks like Kang has enough of it and will be trying to go for the OTK right there. And I think it's more than likely that he's able to, because he has set up.
Yeah, in the grave, Spinny and Jaguar.
Yep, absolutely. So that might actually mean that we are going to see some of the Sky Striker Salad match, and we are going to switch over to that one after this game has finished. I mean, we still have not any informations on the game. It seems like it is still in game 2. I mean, it is 3 minutes past 10 now, so they're already playing for 48 minutes in that game. They are still in game 2. That's just Sky Striker Salad things, right? Grindy Yu-Gi-Oh! And yeah, look at him. Oh, look at Dinkampang putting out all the monsters to the board, committing everything. There is Heat Leo, and Heat Leo will be
okay, I just saw the other artwork of Heat Leo, the alternate art, right?
Oh
yeah, and there's the ultra rare. Do you still remember the guy who played like 6 Heat Leos in his extra deck? and he thought these Heat Leos, since they have a different artwork, they are different cards.
So, see. Kevin actually quit it, and so we are going to for the other match. Yeah, there we see it. Kian Shabazi. Do you see it in the list?
Yeah, let me just check.
Yep. I just joined the game, so I'm in already.
Yep.
And seems like you're joining as well. So we see.
Yeah, so it's
there you
1-1. Yeah, it's 1-1 in UG versus Team G.Y.M, right?
Yeah, that was the equalizer, correct.
Mm.
Oh, and it seems like Sky Striker is going for the kill there, right? Because he's taking over the Gazelle. Oh, yes! Kian Shabazi admits defeat.
Okay.
It's over. We just came into the match and saw the final part of it. Like, when you see the Anchor taking over the Gazelle, that usually is a sign that he's going to attack with all the monsters and going to finish the game. And that is what happened right there. So let me just get our faces on the screen in the big manner once more.
Yeah, that's it. Team G.Y.M is in the top 8, right?
Yeah, Team G.Y.M advancing to the top 8. And I don't know whether you can say that was some kind of an underdog win, because both teams are pretty big, but I would say United Gosus is a little bigger in general and has been around for a longer time. So maybe that is some kind of an underdog win. And yeah, oof, look in the chat. They are celebrating and crying, the one and the other side. Ouch. Well, I have to say that really was a fun night of Yu-Gi-Oh! Once more. Or, I mean, we had a nice chat on the side, and we had quite some stuff to talk about. I hope you guys also enjoyed it. And we will be back for the podcast once more on Tuesday, and for another match of the Ultimate Card Cup next Thursday. And thank you, Lars, again for joining me today.
Thank you too.
Great job.
Next time it will be Leonard again, but it was very nice to cast this.
Yeah, I have to say so as well. So, everybody, have a nice evening. I think it is already late enough, so have a nice night. Do whatever you like to do for the rest of it, and tune in for the next time as well. Bye-bye, guys.
Yeah, bye.